So you've arrived for a Zulrah guide, and I'm here to give you that Zulrah guide. Welcome to the Obi-Wood Zulrah guide. And today I'm going to teach you how to take out Zulrah in 3 easy methods. So a bit of rundown on Zulrah is Zulrah is a 725 level boss that you'll have to take out with 500 HP. Zulrah is one boss that drops 3 unique items known as the Magic Fang, the Tanzanite Fang, and finally the Serpentine Visage, the one item I still don't have yet on the iron as we speak. 1300 kills and still no drop. The requirements to get to Zulrah are the quest Regicide, and to complete Regicide you must also complete the Underground Pass, Biohazard, Plague City, have 10 crafting, and also have 56 agility, alongside with the ability to defeat a level 110 Tyrus Guard during the quest. Once you have completed those quests, you can take a charter ship to Port Tyrus, then run south. You can either take a ferry ring with the code BJS, so a small little island where you can take a shortcut, which also requires 76 agility. And finally, you can use a Zalandra teleport scroll once you have completed Regicide. Some things about Zulrah you must know now before you get your head into it is 1. Zulrah's max hit is a 41. So be ready and be sure to have a good enough HP level to take out this boss. Remember that Zulrah also attacks with venom, so your hit points will decrease slowly over time if you are not carrying around an anti-poison. And 3, there are little snakelings that do spawn within the period of time that you are taking out Zulrah. Now you guys are probably going to want to run in and get absolutely kitted being in Zulrah. And today I'm going to hopefully show you how to make this as AFK as possible, where you guys can enjoy this boss and earn lots and lots of money from it. So I'm currently on my Iron Man at the moment, and I have a very easy 5-way switch budget setup. So we've got a mage switch to a range switch because you cannot melee in Zulrah. Now I've gone for a magic short bow because some people won't have a crystal bow, a bowfer, or a T-bow, so a magic short bow will have to do for the best. So highly recommending that you have a magic short bow because this will make the run a lot easier. And for the mage setup, I have decided to bring with me a Trident of the Swamps. You can bring a Trident of the Seas, although if you can afford to have a Trident of the Swamps, you're going to find the runs a lot easier and a lot quicker to obtain the kill, because your damage will then be increased and your hits will be much higher than it will be with a Trident of the Seas. Now with the mage setup, I have chosen Mystic Robe Top and Mystic Robe Bottoms. You can switch those out for ARAMs if you really want to. The choice is completely up to you, although I recommend bringing a Fury for your range setup and then also bringing an Occult for your mage setup. And the main reason being is because the Occult itself increases your magic damage, which helps out later date while you're doing Zulrah. With this setup, I have brought Thralls with me as well, which is why in my inventory you can see in the top right, 1 magic potion, 1 range potion, 2 prayer potions, and 2 antidotes. You can change the 2 antidotes in your inventory for anti-venoms or anti-poisons, and I'll run through how I use those in the run. But most importantly, what I must say is that please bring a Ring of Recoil or a Ring of Suffering. A Ring of Recoil will recall damage from anything that attacks you when you're in Zulrah. So in the rune pouch, I do have blood runes, fire runes, and cosmic runes because I brought Thralls with me with my Thrall book so that I am able to then summon a Thrall when I am in Zulrah. Now this isn't essential, this isn't recommended, this just helps add DPS while you're in Zulrah. There is also another method where I will show Lunars as well, where you can use a anti-cure, so you can cure your anti-poison when you're in the room, and then also you can use the Vengeance, which then reflects damage to Zulrah while you're attacking Zulrah. I also chose Manta Rays and Kwanwans because they heal together for a total of 40 HP. So if you want to get used sharks, you can do as well. Also on the RuneScape wiki page, they do have a Zulrah layout set up. RuneLight also has a plugin where it shows you how to do each run and each method for each Zulrah. I have run each kind of Zulrah as well to show you the different methods, and most of the methods I've shown with the gear that I have with the budget gear has shown that you can do Zulrah without even doing the Jad phase. Now the Jad phase is where Zulrah attacks you with Mage and range, and then switches between the two consecutively for 8 to 10 attacks. Now, this is also a good method to watch and to read into, and also to have on the side of your window while doing Zulrah, so that you understand the patterns on how to do it. Now there are only 4 rotations of Zulrah. There are 2 melee rotations, 1 range rotation, and there's also a mage rotation. They're very easy to pick up once you start getting into your 50 to 100 kills, and you will start to progressively learn how to then run with them rolls. So what you want to do is, before you run in, not like how I did, sip your magic potion, sip your range potion, and then get your thrall ready. You want to use a mage or a range thrall, whichever you prefer. So I picked mage thrall. I put on my magic bonus, so I put on my mystic might, and then I run all the way down to the left side of Zulrah. So I'm getting in my magic attacks here, and I'm getting myself prepared for which phase it's going to be. So this is really good here. Now what this is the range phase. This is the most AFK, kick back, relax phase that you can do in all of Zulrah. And there is a method where you can do this phase every time you start Zulrah. It does involve world hopping or teleporting out, whichever you find easier, but this is the easiest phase you can do here. And to find out if you do have this phase, is the green Zulrah snake will pop up to your left hand side, as you can see there. Now I'll play the video and I'll show you where and when to go. So you want to instantly put on protect from range, because the range snake is going to keep attacking you with range. It will hit you 5 times before it stops hitting you, and then it will spawn little snakes. So what you want to do there is you want to just sip 1 anti-venom and then continue the attack. You then also want to see this pillar right here. So with this rotation, you can stand behind this pillar and the pillar adjacent to it to avoid all the attacks from the mage snake. When this mage snake appears, you can stand here and, like I said, adjacent, so that you do not get hit at all from the mage snake, which means you only need to protect from range, and then attack the snake in the middle, and attack the green snake at all times. Which means pray range, pray with a mystic might, or with augury, and then continue the fight. So the best part about standing here is you will not get hit by the melee, and the snakings that come near you will only hit you for small amounts of damage at a time. So if you just hang back, relax, eat a little bit of food, combo eat if needs be, and when all the snakes are disappeared and when they've gone, you can then sip an anti-poison so you won't get hit by their venom. And then, like I said, you just stand as you are, you will not get hit by that mage snake. So we get ready to click here adjacent to the pillar, we run to the other side, and you attack Zulrah like you would before. Now the reason why you're going to carry on standing here is because as Zulrah is still attacking, the mage snake will pop up again. But it's going to be on the other side of the room. So you can anti-poison, get food out, heal up a little bit, relax. You can enjoy. And you have Zulrah in the middle. This you don't need to pray range for if you don't want to. But if you want to be safe, stay safe for now until you understand the rotation, and then continue. And you carry on the attack. And then it will pop up on the side. You can sip an anti-poison or an anti-venom, and then you finish the kill. But if it does extend any longer, I will show you some more into that. So for this next part, if you don't know what to do from here, all you have to do is be ready to run, like I said, adjacent to the pillar, but instead of on the other side, it'll be in front. So you run there, and then what you're going to do is you're going to wait for the mage snake. 1, 2, 3, and then attack. Now what I did there is I stalled the attack so that the mage Zulrah cannot hit me before the Jad Zulrah comes up. And then that's a kill, and then the drop comes, and then you rinse and repeat. So you're going to run in, you're going to drink your pots, and you're going to get your magic ready, and then your thrall, and then attack the snake. And then all you're going to do, like, again, you're just going to sit and wait until you find out what the rotation is going to be. So you're going to try and get as much damage off here as possible, so that it's less effort for later on. So the phase that we've got here is a melee snake. So this is what we call a melee rotation. So there could be 2 different kinds of rotations, but it's not all that much to worry about and not too much to think about. So there are 2 melee phases, like I just said, but they work both exactly the same way, just in a different order. So what's going to happen is that it will start with a range, it will then go to a melee, and then it will go into a mage. And this is why you want your switches. So you want to try and avoid getting hit by Zulrah's melee snake. So you want to try and stand on the side if Zulrah's pointing in the corner. If Zulrah's pointing on the side, then you want to run into the corner. And then the mage snake will then pop up. So you get your range gear on, you protect from mage, and then you keep attacking. Now when this happens, so Zulrah just hit me with a little green bullet. That's Zulrah's range attack while Zulrah's in mage. So the mage snake can actually hit you with mage or range, however Zulrah feels. There is nothing you can do about it. There is nothing you can do to try and block it. You just have to take the damage if it hits you. If it doesn't hit you, then you're very lucky, because then you can carry on the rotation, take less damage, and you may have more chance of doing another run, and you can continue after that. But if you get hit by that little green bullet, just make sure that you're eating and your HP is high. And that's the best way of trying to focus on the fight itself. I've had lots of people complain that they've died to this range attack from the mage snake, but there is nothing you can physically do about it. As long as you've got your ring of recoil on, as you can see here, I've reflected 7 damage from the 13 that I just got hit, which means I'm still doing damage even if I don't hit the snake and I'm focusing on eating. So if you're still eating and you have a ring of recoil on and the range attack from the mage snake hits you, then you're good. You're doing damage and the snake will go down even quicker. So then you want to just keep running around until you get to the other side. Once you've hit the other side, you want to get your mage gear on with your protect from range, because the adjacent snake will pop up all the time after the mage snake has come up. If the ranged version of Zulrah is at the top, the melee snake in the middle is going to come up next. So you haven't got to worry about doing a huge switch. This is why this is one version of the melee rotation. So you got to make sure you just eat up before the melee snake comes up, and then get ready to attack a mage again. Because you know once that this snake goes down, you have to be ready to switch over to your range gear and protect from mage. So then the mage snake is going to pop up, and then you're going to attack the snake. And if you get hit by bullets, then that's okay. Then you want to be ready to run to the other side because the range snake is about to appear. So you want to get ready to go run on the other side, put your mage gear on, and then attack the snake with obviously protect from range. When you start understanding these rotations, you can then turn off your prayers if you don't need them necessarily, to conserve prayer if you want to do runs later date. And then you eat if needs be, anti-poison if needs be, and then you obviously do the attack as you can see. And then the snake goes down, and that's it. And I'm left with lots and lots of food at the end as well. And then that's the kill for one of the melee rotations. I'll show you the next one. So I'm on the side with my mage, and I'm ready to attack, and then this comes up. So what we have here is the mage phase. Now this is the last phase that I can think of, other than the other rotation that I could show you guys, although it would be just as similar as the other phase, because you do the same rotation around. It's just the snakes are just a little bit opposite when you're attacking them on each side. But from this phase, the mage phase is a very long phase. So you have plenty of time before it hits the Zulrah phase. So obviously instantly what you want to do is you want to put on your range gear, and then you want to attack the snake as much as possible. Now, Zulrah will hit you more than 5 times on this phase, which is what you have to be a bit more aware of. So you will need to eat a little bit more, you may need to protect yourself a little bit more, but as long as you've got a Thrall spawned, as long as you've got your prayers on, and as long as you're doing damage, you will be fine. So what I'm doing really quickly now is putting my range gear on, protecting from mage, and then attacking the snake. So there will be snakelings that spawn, and then Zulrah will attack me. So don't worry about healing, don't worry about the anti-poison, just worry about food, that's the main important thing. If you're at 50 HP, you'll be okay, just keep doing damage, and then you run to the other side. Then a range snake will spawn, which is the opposite snake. So then you're going to attack the snake, you're going to run to the yellow squares, which I have marked. I highly recommend when you guys can, when you run into Zulrah, you can mark these squares. The mage snake will then spawn, you attack the mage snake. And then he's going to do his spawn his snakelings, and then he's going to attack in a second. And mind you, the majority of Zulrah's hits are in 5s. So this will be 4, and that'll be 5, and then that'll be it. Then the melee snake in the middle, you mage just like normal, And like I said, all of those snakes have basically disappeared because of my recoil. My recoil is what's protecting me. Then I run around, attack the melee snake, and then it goes down. And then be a range snake. You keep your mage gear on because you got melee to then go to range. You just attack it with magic the entire time. And then the yellow snake will then pop up again, green snake, whatever. And then all you do is you carry on attacking. And you keep implementing damage. And then eventually you will have your kill. Now, if it doesn't go as planned, you've got to go and run all the way to the other side. The mage snake will pop up and you should have the kill by then. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show some like higher max gear with venges, which will then help within the kills as well. I'll put the rotations on as well so you can see what sort of rotation it is. With some high level gear, so it'll allow you to get the kills a lot easier and a lot quicker. So these are exactly the same as what I just showed on the methods that I just did. It's just with high level gear and you guys can see the bigger difference and save you time and get more kills which are more efficient. So here I have a range phase and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with the lower budget gear. So I'm just attacking like I am normally and then I can turn off my range and then I'll wait for the pillar and then I can run behind it in a second and there we go. And then I attack Zulrah where he is. Now, mind you guys, you can also use like a Sanguine staff. You can use a Tombkin Shadow if you can have one. You can use all sorts of different like mage style weapons, but the higher the level, the better it's going to be. So because I have Lunars on, I can automatically heal myself with the spell. And then I can just wait behind the pillar before the mage snake can attack me. And then be back to range again. Then you attack the range snake. Now mind you, if you do have like a shadow or a T-bow, you don't necessarily have to have one. It's just very helpful to use because it does the most damage and you get more kills an hour, which makes you more money an hour. Or if you're trying to get uniques in particular, very, very helpful for trying to get more kills an hour so you can get uniques. And you simply just stand at this pillar until the snake goes down. Then the snake will pop back up, and hopefully because I've done enough damage, I wouldn't need to attack it, and then that is the kill. And that is it. And I used 2 food during that run, and that's it. So again, this will be the melee rotation that I showed you in the budget method version. So this will be the melee. So you stand adjacent and then you attack, wait for Zulrah to turn, and then you can then run to the other side. And then what's going to happen is then the mage snake's going to pop up, so I'll get my range gear on. And then you wait to attack and then run. Attack, then run around. And then attack, and then run to the other side. Now the reason why I've got those little yellow markers is that's for every other rotation apart from the green rotation, so the range rotation. So you want to stand in those yellow squares at all times because they're your best places to stand in the safest places. So they're your safest marks, if that makes sense. So then the mage snake is going to pop up. You put your range gear, sorry. And then all you're going to do is you're just going to wait until you have the next attack to come up, which is going to be the melee snake in the middle. But if it doesn't, and you get the kill, then all you got to do is then get your loot and then be out of there. And unfortunately, I got a duped Tan's Fang. Don't laugh at me. So this rotation is going to consist of the other melee rotation. So as you normally run in, you know, potions, potted, make sure you venge, and then also you can use your cure when needs be as well. And all you're going to do is you're going to attack the snake just like normal. And then the melee snake's going to pop up. So then what you're going to do, run to the other side. Obviously while still attacking. Then run to the other side again. And then going to get your range gear on because the mage snake is about to pop up. It's getting melee gear. Sorry, mage. It's a snake is attacking, so range gear. And then all you're going to do is keep running around while doing damage. And then you get to the other side. And then guess what? Oh, that's weird. The snake's on the other side. But that's okay because you know it's going to be a ranged snake. But the only difference is instead of the mage snake popping up this time, the melee snake in the middle is going to pop up. So you don't have to switch to range instantly in a second. So you can kick back, relax a little bit, and then get ready for the little melee snake in the middle. So the melee snake will pop up, And all you do is you attack and attack and attack. Now, remember, the Mage Snake is going to pop up in a second, so get ready for your switches. There you go. So you do your prayers first as well. Always your prayers first. It's the safest to be. Because if you're not praying and you're getting absolutely dealt damage, then you're going to have a rough time. You're not going to enjoy Zulrah. So you run to the other side, and the Range Snake is going to pop up again. So you want your Mage gear out. And then after this Range Snake would be a Mage Snake, but if you defeat in time, you won't even have to do a Zulrah phase. Jad phase. And then that's the kill. And finally, I'm going to show you the method for the Mage Snake. So it's exactly the same that I did with the budget method, just with a bit of just a bit more pricier gear, which does more damage. But you still get to see the majority of the rotation, just without doing the whole Zulrah phase. So once the green snake is down, the blue snake will pop up. So I get my range gear ready. Simple as that. Switch and then attack. So you don't necessarily have to have a 6-way switch. The more switches you have, the more damage you'll do. And then you attack the snake as accordingly. Use vengeance accordingly. So if your venge did pop because of the snakelings, and all you have to do is then hover over your venge, ready to hit the snake back when the green bullet's on your way. And then you run around and then attack the green snake with your mage attack. And then all you do is you sit around, you wait for that mage snake to pop up on your right hand side. So I ate a little bit of food there, prayer switches, because that's the first thing, and then the gear switch. So a little bit of prayer, because I needed it. You attack the mage snake. I am taking a little bit of damage there, but I know how much damage I'm going to be taking, so I'm keeping an eye on what my health is looking like. It does get a little bit low here, but I am aware of that situation. And that's okay. And what I did there is I scuffed it a little bit because I accidentally misclicked. So you don't want to be spam clicking because that's the last thing you want to be doing. So then the range snake will pop up on the side. And the range snake will also pop up ahead of you as well. So you haven't got to worry about switching. Just keep your mage on. And you attack. And then that's the kill. And then that should be it. So just for some quick tips and tricks as well. So these little dots that I've marked are where you should hopefully try and put a square. So the squares, obviously 2 nearby the pillars on the corners, not next to them, on the corners, so that for the other rotations you can stand on those. The ones at the ends for Zulrah, and also the ones where you can avoid the melee snake, so that you can run in an L shape, if that makes sense, which hopefully it should do. This will make it very easy for you to know where to run to, for how long, and then for trying to avoid like the acid clouds and trying to avoid the snakes as well. Because at some stages you will get a snake that stands on one side of the pillar and cannot reach you because you are on the other side of the pillar. So there's all sorts of different little pieces which you can avoid with like taking less damage, with being able to not get hit by Zulrah at all, and things like avoiding lots of different things that are attacking you all at once, so that you're not panicking, you're not worried, and then you can get on with the kill, and then also just do more consecutive kills every hour. But there we go, that's all I can really show you about Zulrah. I'm sorry that if this guide looks really bad, or if any of you have a problem with this guide in particular, but if you do have anything you want to suggest to me, please let me know in the comments. If you did enjoy any of it, please do let me know about that as well. I've just been very busy at the moment, and I'm doing as much as I can to release as much content as possible. So if there's any also like any kind of other content you guys want to see, let me know too. Also, if there is a video editor out there that would love to do some video editing for me, feel free to drop me a message, or feel free to email as well, or message me on Twitter or anything on social media. I would love to have an editor. It just means making videos would be more fun and more enjoyable. But thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of it, and I'll see you all soon.